Well, they haven't really stopped, but that's what happens. It's 10 o'clock at night and something must have disturbed them and set them off. That's the dogs, by the way. So what's the downside is what I'm thinking. Is there any risk? Well, very little risk because there's very little bleeding for some reason. Well, if it's a laser, it's cauterizing the wound as it goes. That was my take on it. But he said something that was very, very interesting and that seemed to me to be counterproductive. He said, the difference is that once you've had this treatment, is the flow of semen when the man ejaculates does not come on the normal exit. In other words, out, not to get too graphic, but it doesn't come out the end of your willy. Okay, so what does it do? The semen actually goes back the other way into the bladder. I'm thinking that must be a little bit of a disadvantage if you're trying to have a baby the normal way, because I think the willy and where it's pointed at the time that you ejaculate has a lot to do with whether you're going to have a child. Location being everything, as they say in the real estate business. So you need to locate those little swimmers in the right place, and the only way is to point your member, your willy, in the right place. And we all know where that should be if your mummy and daddy told you about the birds and the bees. So that would mean that I certainly I would try to head for comfort and a ceasing of the going to the toilet too many times, and try to hope that if the cider vinegar doesn't change that, then maybe I'll do whatever it takes to get saw palmetto. So there are various things that can be done. So I wouldn't take that particular route for handling it. It seems to be counterproductive. Now let me mention one thing that I did learn about finding out whether you've got cancer. Well, men, we get this pushed on us a lot, I feel, the cancer thing. It's like it's inevitable. This is how it often seems to me, that it's inevitable that you're going to get it. The trick is to find it early. Now, one of the things is a biopsy, and looking on YouTube, which seems to me to be as reliable in many ways as any specialist that you might go to see, because our so-called specialists are not always specialists in every single aspect of our medical lives. When you think about some of the mistakes that have been made, well, look at that idea that you're going to go and you're interested in keeping both a normal sex life and reducing the number of times that, or the amount that the prostate is under pressure, thereby limiting your urination ability, and then it starts interfering with where the semen is going during an ejaculation. So that seems to me, didn't anybody say, oh, hold on, the swimmers are going the wrong way. Guys, should be this way, not that way. Didn't anybody think about that? But I guess they think that as you get older, you're not really interested in where the swimmer's going. But of course, that would be a generality that wouldn't really be good for everybody. So here's the other thing that I read, which was interesting, about biopsies, which are not very comfortable things. So what it means is that you have, let's just try to make it graphic. Let's say that this is what they're going in. I mean, it's not as big as this obviously, but let's say that they're going in with a needle and they're going in to a gland that may be this big. So they're going in with a gland that's this big, that the prostate, and they're going to find out if there are any spots of cancer in there. Now they're going to go in, and the first time they'll go in and they'll push in like this and then put out, and then they spit that little bit out, and then they'll go in another way and they'll take another, and they'll drop that out in the tray, and they'll do another little bit here and another little bit there and another little bit. What it amounts to is that, it seems from what I've read, alright, so you need to do your own research on this, but what I've read is that it actually is a random chance test. So in other words, they could be going in right at rather discomfort. This is not something that you would do at home to yourself, but they're going in and they're getting a specimen and coming out and having a look at that specimen and going back in again and doing another, and if they do it enough times, they'll think that it's covered, right? So you've got the prostate like this, and they've gone in and they've gone ding, 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 ding. If that's how they do it, I'm not sure that the dinging noise comes in, okay? But they might easily miss the spots of cancerous material. So you might skip your way down the road or down in the parking lot to the car and tell your wife, I'm completely clear, and you've got these little spots of cancer. So the idea of that way of doing it, right, the biopsy, didn't seem to be a very good idea to me. So that's a little bit, you might want to look at that on YouTube or Google it and find out for yourself. That's what I did. So that's my my little update on that. So now I got to try to not to be concerned about it. We have because of stuff that we've going on at the moment on our channel and our mission, we've had some stress in the last months, and that has been clear, and we've known about that, and we've done our very best to reduce that for both Beth and I. And so that's a given, that you're going to try to reduce the stress and take things a little bit more easy. And so that's what we've been trying to do, and we'll continue to do that. Do the diet, keep an exercise regime up of some kind, and not stress, and eat properly. So that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. So the batteries run out, so I'll say goodbye. Thanks for looking in. This has been an update. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye for now.